What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? It's good to see you. I've been out for a little while, man. I came down with the nastiest cold. So I'm I'm real sorry about the way my voice sounds. And if I cough and the cough sounds nasty, guys, just letting you know. But I'm feeling better today. And it's been it's been an eventful few days. So let me say hello to everybody. DCP Red, what's up? I'm not the one to F with. Bobby Pin, KD2, Blue Agave Dreamer, Kelly Bain, D Holmes, L House, Lady D185, King Duck. I like that, King Duck. Reminds me of White Men Can't Jump. Kate S, Gramsci Life, Flying Skunk, D Holmes. I already said that. Living Chaos, Ashface, Twisted T, Norma Thomas, Mama 4, KK, Jen Perry, Holly Marie, Erica, I Cannot, Kira Marcel Carpenter, Rubicon, Sassy Evelyn, The Story on Real Talk with Mandy, all right, Cherry K, and I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I'm not going to go over everybody. Got a lot of people in here already. Get some coffee real quick. And guys, these last few days, I had nothing to do but just lay in bed and think, pretty much. And it's really funny because I'm also following YouTube. I've been on top of things, and I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of craziness going on. People are getting doxed all over again. And it's really funny because it's the same people. It's the same people. Again, this has been divided into sides. This situation has been divided into sides, just like I thought it would. But here's the thing, is the facilitator is different this time. And you'll bear with me, I hope, when I explain that why this facilitator is the facilitator. And it's very, very interesting too, because all you have to do is just look at all the signs. Look at the familiar. Look, guys, we're a true crime community. Okay. This is what we do. All right. This isn't even speculation. This is looking at evidence and putting together something. It's real simple. It's real simple. And people need to understand, you're being duped. You're being duped. Now, I'm not saying that Sophie is not missing. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying, I'm going to start off by saying, wherever Michael is with Sophie, bring her in and be the mature one out of all this. Be the mature one. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't believe that he would hurt her. I certainly hope not. But I don't believe that law enforcement believes that he would hurt her. I honestly don't believe that at all, because if they thought that, there would be an Amber Alert issued. Why wouldn't there be? There's no law saying that the custodial parent or the non-custodial parent who is claimed the abductor wouldn't be considered a danger to this child. Right? I mean, that's common sense. It's common sense. So, but I'm asking you guys to look at the evidence. The way you guys, all of you guys that I'm always yelling at and saying, you know, you can't judge somebody by their body language and blah, blah, blah. But you can definitely look at red flags. You can definitely look at red flags. We're going to look at some red flags when it comes to this particular missing persons case. We're going to talk about this missing persons case like any other missing persons case. And we're going to compare them. We're going to compare them because it would be irresponsible not to. It's just that simple. It would be irresponsible if we didn't. So I'm going to start off by reading because I find it really, really funny that the day of one morning, I woke up, I believe it was yesterday morning. I woke up and I was like, and I made this post in community saying something to the effect of no major news network, no Amber Alert still, and no major news network is no credible news network, no reputable one has brought this up yet. It's been over a week. It's been 8 days since Sophie supposedly went missing. Right? Now, obviously, she's listed in the National Missing Persons database, right? So we all know this. This is a fact. But if you notice, every time I say something, guys, every time I say something, almost the same day, something happens to correct what I said. Something happens to go, oh, well, okay, well, all right. Well, now there's a missing persons report. After I said, where's the missing persons report? Right? When I challenge that, all of a sudden, there's a missing persons report. Magic just happens, right? Then I say, why isn't a credible news source covering this? A credible news media source covering this? Like magic, the same day, later on, Fox posts an article. Let's read that article. Let's check that out. All right. All right. So, can you all see that okay? All right. I mean, you can see it. I mean, you don't even need to see it. As a matter of fact, I'll do that. All right. So it says here, a Texas dad who allegedly faked claims of child abuse against the mother of his 10-year-old daughter during a custody battle last year is now accused of abducting the girl, according to authorities. Not really. Because if you guys remember, I spoke to the lead detective on this case, okay? And he gave me certain information that's not listed here at all. So now in the national, they're just going by if you listen carefully, they're not going by having interviewed a law enforcement officer. They're going by what's stated in that missing persons case. And it all depends on who actually reported Sophie missing, which I personally believe was Courtney. So it goes right along the lines of what she was telling Katie Joy, like right along those lines. And Katie Joy said herself that Courtney and Kelly Long were not even in touch with each other, right? So if Courtney and Kelly Long were not in touch with each other, but Kelly later on, and then she says that the other person, her other source of information is just a friend of Kelly's, but Kelly and this person don't even talk. She doesn't get her information from Kelly. So, but she does admit, Katie Joy does admit, saying that she gets her information directly from Courtney. So that right there, and guys, I've already gone into 100 times as to why I don't think that Courtney is a credible news source or a credible source for information, I should say. So Sophie Long is believed to have been taken by her 42-year-old father, Michael Long, who does not have custodial rights, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Now, at least that's accurate. At least they're now saying Texas Department of Safety is where they got their information, which is where that missing persons poster is posted. Says here, Michael Long created a viral GoFundMe campaign and shared videos in 2020 amid a battle with his ex-wife, Kelly Long, over the custody of their 3 children. The campaign included a harrowing 20-minute YouTube video titled #StandWithSophie that showed the girl in apparent distress and saying she did not want to visit with her mother, Kelly Long, whom Michael Long accused of abusing the child. Now, what's really funny here is their facts are really, really vague. This is a smear job 100%. Now, I'm not defending Michael here. I'm saying what he's doing sucks. I'm absolutely saying that what he's doing sucks. And I'm in no way defending him, but this is clearly a smear job. And because what's really funny is those of us that have been following this whole situation since it started months ago, we know 100 times more than this article is telling us. This is hardly telling us anything. And it's very, very, very one-sided, which I find really interesting. Says here, the mother denied those allegations, and last year, a court-appointed amicus attorney assigned to represent the children's best interests described the video as, quote, self-produced and heavily edited, unquote. The attorney recommended that Kelly Long be granted sole legal custody. Court filings at the time alleged that Michael Long barely sent the children to school and coached the children on how to respond to questions. He also allegedly, repeatedly had the oldest examined for signs of sexual abuse, of which doctors found none. We already know the story behind that too. Let's face it, people. We never got the results for that SANE exam back. We never saw it. The one that the sergeant for the police department that was charged with the responsibility of investigating Sophie's claims that Michael was complaining was, and Courtney, Michael and Courtney were both saying that they were trying to avoid it, that they had reason to hide, that they had reason to completely and totally, that they had to want it to not happen. Put it that way. I'm trying to put this as delicately as I can. But here's the thing is they had proof to back it up because they obtained a recording, a phone call from that sergeant who was off duty calling the police department in another jurisdiction where allegedly Michael and Courtney felt that actually, I think it was Courtney that had her there, that took her. They felt that because of what they suspected to be corruption going on in this police department, that they felt the need to go to another jurisdiction and get an independent investigation into Sophie's claims, or at least get an independent collection of evidence from that, because he couldn't trust that. So this person actually went out of his way. This sergeant off duty went out of his way to call that police department and try to intercept the SANE exam from taking place. And we all heard it. I played it on this channel. Other channels have played it on theirs. We all heard it. We all heard it. And some of us chose to dismiss it and go, that's not proof of anything. What do you mean it's not proof of anything? How can you not say, you know what I mean? How can you listen to that and not say that that is a gross example of negligence, at least, if not corruption, coming from that police department, coming from an officer of that police department, someone who took an oath to uphold the law is obstructing it. And we heard a recording of him obstructing it, deliberately attempting to obstruct it. We all heard it. I'm not going to play it again. Not going down that road again, but we all heard it. That is a fact. And there's no denying that. So, So this is all, I mean, none of this stuff is mentioned. Nobody's doing a deep story about this situation. All they're doing is, this is a smear job on Michael. And like I said, I'm not defending his actions at all, but let's call a spade here. This article is a one-sided smear job. Absolutely. And it also says here that the amicus attorney also found deep concerns over the children's immediate emotional health and safety while in the father's care, and accused him of monetizing the custody battle for his own profit at his kids' expense. Now, that's debatable. But now, there's another thing here. I'm not sure if it's in this one. They were probably careful to not say this because it was a straight up lie, because in the Sun article, which is a tabloid asswipe, and you know, and I love how people are talking about Crime Online, Nancy Grace's channel, how that's so credible. I mean, we're talking about Nancy Grace here, people. And I know a lot of you love her. I get it. But she's not a real news source. She's not. She's pure entertainment. She's a former attorney who's very opinionated, and she's very, very animated when she's talking about these things. And it's just smoke and mirrors. She's extremely biased. So she'll start painting a picture before she even has all the facts. Now, this is something that I don't like. One thing that I really don't like about her, and because a lot of people listen to her like as if she's this hardcore reporter, when she's not. She has people do some digging for her. She selects what she wants to remember because it's whatever she can point at the camera and make entertaining. That's what Nancy Grace does. I don't care what any of you say. And she always looks like she smells a fart while she's doing it. And she's always loud. She's always, oh my God, I cannot believe, and the nerve of this man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's totally biased. It is not a credible news source. And in that article and in the Sun article, it says that Michael was selling interviews with Sophie on camera, with Sophie for money, basically paying YouTubers. I never got a dime from Michael. I'll tell you that right now. Certain other creators I know didn't get a dime from Michael. I know that for a fact. So, I mean, like, it's just, this is all just, I mean, the fact that these are just not true. Like, that's a blatant lie is what that is. Or at least I'm not aware, but I was pretty deep into this. So, I mean, I missed it if it happened, but I don't think it happened. So I'm calling bullshit on it. And at one point, Kelly was forced to hide out with her children from a gun-carrying, hideout in a hotel, right? Yeah, in a hotel from a gun-carrying, angry social media mob who had been given her home address. The timeline on that is completely and totally screwed, by the way, because she was already staying in a hotel, if I can remember correctly, when that happened. And yeah, I remember that happening. That Anna girl, she was insane. And I remember even doing a live about the Facebook group, which is why I never belonged to the Facebook group or was active in it in the slightest bit. So prompting Frisco police to publicly state Sophie was safe with her mother in order to help calm the situation, according to the Roots on Law firm of Keller, Texas. So they just say right there that their source for that information right there came from Kelly's lawyer. Are we catching up now, people? Are we starting to see the picture, guys? Are we starting to understand how things are going? You got to use your eyes. So the fact of the matter is, this is a very, very biased article coming from one side. They didn't do any investigating of any kind whatsoever. What they did is they asked a couple of people that I'm guessing sought them out, because that's the way it looks here. I think they sought them out. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And it says here, quote, experts believe that Michael Long's actions form a textbook example of parental alienation, a type of child abuse in which he has consistently used psychological manipulation to turn the children against the other parent, the firm said in a statement at the time. So again, coming from Kelly's law firm. Spokespersons for Roussan did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment Wednesday, which I call BS on. I think they contacted them. Sophie is 5 feet tall and weighs around 95 pounds. According to authorities, she has blue eyes, blonde hair, and a scar from a burn on one of her arms. Michael Long is 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighs about 205 pounds, and has green eyes and blonde hair. Now, whether or not Kelly's law firm was behind contacting Fox News, it's clear that somebody in support of Kelly contacted Fox News and the other news sources. I mean, just the nature of the way this thing is written is pretty obvious, in my opinion. And then we're going to move on to another subject. And I've heard a couple other creators talk about this. I actually spoke with another creator about this a few days ago, but it seems that this email, I'm not the only one who got one. Quite a few other creators got this email. Some even got a little bit more of a detailed email. You might even say an actual court document. Now, this is not a court document. Not unless it's submitted into evidence, which evidence into what? So I received this email, and it is from a Laura Elkind, and it says, "Dear Mr. William," in my full name, "I understand that you are in possession of a petition for writ of mandamus," which I just learned that that's how you say it. Mandamus filed recently by Michael Long in the custody dispute with his ex-wife, Kelly. The petition is not part of the public record and is subject to a court sealing order. Furthermore, any hearing transcripts, testimony, and exhibits included in the petition were not and are not open or accessible to the public. You should not have this petition, which contains highly sensitive personal information about a private custody dispute, including 3 minor children. The disclosure of any information contained in the petition would be an invasion of privacy. If you want to avoid any legal exposure, you should delete the petition in its entirety, including all attachments and exhibits from all devices, and refrain from sharing or disclosing in any manner all of any part of the petition, including all attachments and exhibits and any information contained therein. Basically, it's telling me to take whatever form of this thing that I have and shove it in my mouth, chew it up, swallow it, shit it out, set it on fire, make sure it's never, ever, ever seen. Make sure I never, ever share this thing. And what's really funny is I have no intention on doing so. If you've been listening, I have no intention on going over any of the details of these court documents because it's none of our business. It's none of our business. The things that I've shared with you so far are things that came up as to why there should be a criminal investigation, a thorough criminal investigation conducted into Sophie's claims, which has never taken place. I still stand by that. I still stand by that. Oh, we're going to get into this. Siren Jag, we're going to get into this, dude. No, because this is funny. Because bless this dude's heart. Just came across my way just today. And I said, oh my goodness. Now, you guys understood that email, right? Basically saying that if I have this appeal, right, that went through the Fifth Court of Appeals, if I have this writ of mandamus, and I have all the details of this court document, then and I go over this stuff, then it's an invasion of privacy, and I'm in violation of a court order, and I could be sued, right? Now, I want to continue this conversation real quick because I went on to answer this person. And so I was very clear about something. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first got this, because the letterhead, I mean, everything was legit. I Googled the law firm. It's real. This is a real attorney. And I do believe that she is employed by Kelly Long. But I'm going to explain that a little bit more in a minute. Actually, these emails explain it. So I, of course, to cover my ass, which every word that I said here was true. I said, the document you speak of is not and has never been in my possession. It's true. It is not. I have not even seen it. If for any reason, the future before it becomes public, it is sent to me, it will be rejected, as I have never requested it or any other documents that were sealed, and I have not been unsealed by the courts. So I covered my ass there, because if these things aren't sealed, then this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether I got it or not. And at the time when I responded to this, I had not received it, and I did receive it, but I never was able to open it. So I haven't seen it. Somebody sent it to me, but I have not seen it. Now, of course, it gets me curious. And I said, and by the way, you failed to mention who it is that you were legally representing and speaking on behalf of with this email. Who would that be, please? Then she says, Kelly Long, thanks. And I said, well, like I said, I've never seen the alleged writ of mandamus, nor have I even asked to see it. I am not in contact with ML, nor have I been since the last time he appeared on my panel during a live stream months ago. He had attempted to contact me once or twice since then, but I ignored him. Never since the rumor of Sophie being missing broke. The phone number I had for him turned out to be incorrect. John has emailed me several times, and I had responded each time. I am not aware of Michael or Sophie's whereabouts, and John has stated to me that he is not with them and also unaware of their current whereabouts. But I assure you that my only concern is that she is recovered safely, and for her sake, Michael comply with whatever the current ruling of the courts are and what law enforcement asks of him. I'm fully willing to share with law enforcement any present or further information that may be helpful in executing the common goal we seem to share, which is Sophie's safe recovery and when it comes my way. And then I said, can you prove that you represent Kelly Long legally? She says, well, you'll just have to believe me, I guess. I do not represent Kelly Long in the custody dispute. David Rousson in her family court is her family court lawyer. Please reach out to law enforcement with any information you may have regarding the child's and or the father's whereabouts. And then I lose my patience with her, because it's like she didn't even read what I said. So I said, that's already what I'm doing, idiot. This is an intimidation tactic and nothing more. You're a troll. A cease and desist has to be signed by a judge. At least I thought so at the time. But it has to be notarized at least, and I don't see how this email was notarized. I didn't see anything stamped by a notary public in any way, shape, or form. And then I went on to say, I'm curious as to why Critical K hasn't been contacted by you and told not to share details of this closed document. She's live right now going over it. Could it be because it fits your narrative? Could it be because Kelly has been sharing private text messages between them with her with the purpose of doing exactly what she's accusing Michael Long of? And how did Kay get the recording of Michael Long with the amicus attorney? And how is she allowed to share that on a live stream with thousands while twisting it to mean whatever she wants and financially gain from it? And I never got an answer back. Imagine that. So, yeah, I don't care. Dude, I hate lawyers. I'm telling you right now, I don't like lawyers. I don't like them at all. The only lawyers I like are the ones that say that they hate lawyers. So, and I make no bones about that. People, I want you to pay close attention to this, because this is my next little
Michael Long?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is this for Michael Long?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The court has not ruled on the motion yet, if that's what you were.
Well, I have a question. I'm being told by a lawyer that is supposedly a representing one of the parties, Kelly Long. She sent me a cease and desist because I'm in possession of the petition for writ of mandamus. She has sent me a cease and desist claiming that there is an order sealing the writ, the petition, as well as I think all documents related to it. Can you confirm if there is an order to seal it on file?
I don't see an order, and it's not sealed. It has sensitive information on there.
what?
I'm aware it has to do with children. I'm very much aware of that. All
and
right.
That's the reason why. But let me transfer the call to our chief deputy clerk, because she's the one that handles all the mandamus cases, and she's the one that posted the document to the case.
All right. Excellent.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Please have your appeal case. I mean the mandamus case number ready. Okay.
I got that ready.
Okay. Please hold.
Sure.
Big shout out to the Spectre Report, the channel Spectre Report, for
This is Claudia.
for doing this.
Hi. My name is. I am paying attention to a case that's been filed in the Court of Appeals for the Fifth Court of Appeals. And I received a cease and desist from a lawyer who is representing one of the parties in it. She claims that this specific petition for writ of mandamus is under seal. I didn't find anything on, already. I didn't find anything sealing it, but she said that there could be legal consequences. I just want to get from you, is there an order to seal this writ or not? I know there's sensitive information in the petition, but is there an order to seal it?
What's the appeal number?
05 TAC.
This dude's got it together, dude.
TAC 005 74 TAC Charlie Victor.
Charlie Victor. I love it.
Okay. No, there is. This is not a sealed petition.
Okay.
It's just not posted to the web because it looks like there's sensitive data, like a child's birthday.
Okay. Yeah.
And stuff, and so that's why it's not posted to the web. But it is. Anybody can come up here and get a copy of it because it's not sealed.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. I guess this lawyer absolutely 100% lied to me.
I don't know about that. All I can do is tell you that it's not sealed. There hasn't been a motion to seal it. It's just not posted.
Well, the lawyer specifically says that it's under a court-ordered seal. So,
well, not here.
says
All
it in
right.
my email
Excellent.
too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You have a good day now.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.
Are you guys seeing the picture now? You got to use your eyes. Guys, why hasn't there been an Amber Alert issued? If Sophie is in such danger, why isn't any article that's covering this, any major news source that's covering this, even the tabloid ones? Of course, I don't expect the tabloid ones to, but I would expect Fox News to, sort of. I mean, let's face it. They're pretty biased themselves. But I mean, so here's somebody who is, in fact, employed by Kelly Long. In fact, employed by Kelly Long. Totally behaving unethically. Completely and totally behaving unethically. Think about that. She not only lied to this dude, she lied to me. She sent this email everywhere, right? And what's funny is if this person actually listened to my live streams, I've spoken against going over these court documents. I don't think it's right that Critical K is doing it. I don't think it's right that Critical K is taunting someone who she is trying to just perpetuate a campaign that this man is a psychotic, dangerous man capable of hurting this child and anyone else that stops him from doing whatever he plans on doing. Michael Long is completely and totally off the rails, man. That's what's going on here. That's according to Critical K. Yet she's going to spend hours, 5 hours last night, by the way, dragging this guy and taunting him. A narcissist. Someone who can't stand people thinking poorly of him. And yet, Sophie's in his care. So he's supposedly Sophie's biggest threat. But law enforcement hasn't issued an Amber Alert yet. There's no arrest warrant out for Michael Long. But these news stations are calling him her abductor because that's what the post in the National Center for Missing Children's database is. So, I mean, 5 hours dragging this guy. Yet, why hasn't she received a cease and desist? Someone who's currently being sued for $10 million. $10 million. Think about that. It's interesting. But yet, we're not hearing anything. But here, something else that I find really interesting, guys. How many missing persons cases do we follow on here where someone is genuinely in danger? Right? How many missing persons cases do we follow? A lot. We do. And what is one of the biggest red flags that we see when a child goes missing from a parent? The parent that's so concerned for that child's safety. What's one of the biggest red flags? No public statement? No pleading publicly? Why? I mean, you're so scared for your child. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't care about Sophie. I'm saying she doesn't believe that Sophie's in danger. That's what I'm saying. Because the evidence dictates that she doesn't. The evidence dictates that nobody does. except for the people that are spinning narratives in private group chats, in K's chats, in KJ's chats. One who's being sued for $10 million by Ray Andriacchio for defamation, slander, name it, $10 million. I can't even visualize that amount of money, dude. I can't even visualize it. And we also have Katie Joy. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this real quick. This is the first time that I've ever been entertained by this person that we're about to hear. This is literally the first time that I've ever actually been entertained by this person. Hold on a second. I got to find it, people. Okay.
I'm going to deal with this trash rag who claims to be a writer who tries to pay her power bill on clicks. Katie Joy without a crystal ball. I'm going to deal with her in litigation. And she's going to sit for a deposition and she's being served. And Katie, yes, we know what we have your address. We're going to have the process server to serve you unless you have an attorney. If you have an attorney, please send that information over to Balch and Bingham and Jonathan DeLuca. You can reach him there at Balch and Bingham. He's waiting for you to send over your attorney's information so that your attorney can accept service of it, so you don't have to be, as you like to post on your social media, people are harassing you. Katie Joy, nobody is harassing you. Nobody gives a shit about you. You are nondescript. But go ahead and call and contact Jonathan DeLuca with Balch and Bingham. Give him your attorney's number if you can afford one. If not, the state ain't gonna appoint one for you because you stirred up this shit, so you got to pay for it. Contact him, give him your information so that he can serve you with the proper documentation. And we look forward to sitting across the table from you with a deposition and confronting you with things that you have sent out via Twitter Messenger. Those damn Twitter messages will get you every time, Katie. Every time. And I'm going to make sure that when we post that, when your deposition's completed and we post those, it's going to show all of the people that you claim to be confidants with and that are quasi-celebrities. It's going to show them how loyal you are to them. So I would say people that are dealing with Katie Joy and this without a crystal ball and you're leaking stuff to her, you might want to be careful because what you leak to her, she leaks to others. So that being said, it's been a great week.
Okay. I think that says it all, folks. I mean, these are the people that Kelly Long is relying on to spread information. Between Courtney and Kelly, right? These are the creators that they've chosen. Both just people who are known for doxing. People who are basically known, basically the two most hated people that I know on YouTube right now. Easily, without a doubt. The two most hated people on YouTube right now. And these are these are who you're relying on for information. Somehow they're credible in some way. So the fact that Kelly is relying on Kay to spread information, and that Courtney is relying on Katie Joy, well, what does that tell you about Kelly and Courtney? What's going on here, people? The fact that Kelly hasn't made a public statement pleading for her child to be returned safely to the public. I mean, it's public. It's made national media, mainstream media. Yet no word from Kelly still. That's what we call in the true crime community a red flag when it comes to a missing persons case. Without a doubt. I don't care what any of you say. I mean, folks, you got to use your eyes. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You got to look at the evidence. You got a lawyer under her hire that is literally right now being paid to run her PR. And the way she's doing it is by intimidating people who may speak not in favor. Now, why do you think she doesn't want those court documents shared? Think about that. Why do you think she doesn't want those court documents shared? Why wouldn't she want that? If they're so confident in the court's decision, right? Don't say it's because they're trying to protect Sophie, because all evidence indicates that they're not trying to protect anybody. They're trying to protect themselves. This is all self-serving. And I'm saying Michael too. His actions totally self-serving the way it looks, because at this point he needs to do the right thing. He needs to have always been doing the right thing. And he hasn't been. Now, I don't know. Here's the thing: is according to the court findings, which Michael has been adamant in saying that they are corrupt, which Courtney was adamant in saying was corrupt. Now all of a sudden, it's the court's decision, and she's supporting the court, right? She's saying, well, the court says so, when it was Courtney that was actually sharing information with me months ago as to why the court was corrupt. Yeah. So, I mean, it just makes no sense that people don't see this. It makes no sense that people don't see this. Good night, Jen Perry. I mean, these kids are being used because both parents, in my opinion, love this publicity. They just do. They love using the public to sling mud at each other. I mean, that's all we've been seeing. That's all we've been seeing. That's a good point, Siren Jag. It's a good point. So, I mean, to me, it's painfully obvious what's going on here. You've got a lawyer that is not even representing Kelly. So Kelly has basically a team of lawyers, one handling the custody, another one handling the PR, right? No, I don't. I love this. I have a copy of it. You want it? No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not interested in that. But I will say this, though. I will say this. Why do they not want us talking about this? Because someone already, another YouTuber already went over details as to why, and she was perfectly within her rights to do so. Because I just proved it based on Spectre. I already forgot his name, and I feel bad because I really like what he was doing. I like that creator and what he did, and he basically just did his due diligence. Did everyone's, really. Called up the records department to see if this was sealed, and it's not. Basically proved this attorney to be a liar, a bully, and an intimidator. I mean, what else do you need to know? And it was funny. There was a point where I was like, and I was telling a couple of my mods, I was telling them, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to lay low, because I'm hearing a bunch of people are getting doxxed, you know, and I don't want that to happen to my mods and the people that follow and support me. And I was like, I'm just going to lay off. And then I'm sick as hell, and I'm taking a glorious hot shower. You know how good a hot shower feels when you're sick? And I'm sitting there, and my mind is at its most relaxed state, and it hit me like that, like a ton of bricks. I was like, that's what they want. This is a pure intimidation tactic. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us all to shut up. Because if Michael can prove that the court mishandled this case, well then, I mean, now I have to look into it. What I'm curious about, if there's any attorneys out there, what I'd like to know, is Michael actually in violation of the court currently if that appeal has been submitted? I wonder if that puts a hold on the court's ruling in the meantime. I'd like to know. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I would like to know. And if that is the case, then that would absolutely explain why there's no warrant out for Michael's arrest. That would explain why there's no Amber Alert issued. Because technically, he would still have custody of Sophie. So, but I mean, I don't like that every major news source is saying that he's a non-custodial parent. So that just may not be true. So it just may not be true that it negates that, you know, that it puts on pause the court's ruling. Let's see real quick. Tom Riddle, what are you saying here? I don't think so. And if this was a real abduction, the appeals court would have dismissed the appeal the next day that it was filed. Good point. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But guys, I mean, the facts don't lie. The facts don't lie. I mean, all you really have to do is compare this to any other missing persons case, because the circumstances don't match any other missing persons case that we've ever covered. They just don't. I already did that, L House. I already did that. And that lead detective who's assigned to Sophie and Michael's case that lead detective. Oh, thank you, Marianne, so much. No one here nor you should be bullied into silence. Thank you and the mods for being the non-BS place on YouTube we can come to. Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the super chat. I was making a point, but I didn't want to not acknowledge that super chat. Oh yeah, did I call a police station? Yeah. So for those of you who don't know this, on a live stream, the lead detective returned my call. Now I didn't air it because I didn't have his permission. And so I asked him if law enforcement considered Michael to be a threat or a danger to Sophie. And he said, I can't discuss an open investigation necessarily, but I will say this. Michael Long does not fit the requirements that would categorize Sophie to be in a that would qualify Sophie to be issued an Amber Alert. So that was him. I took that as him saying yes and no. No meaning we don't think so, but anything could happen. That's how I took that, which is how I'm looking at it, if I'm being totally honest. Let's see. Who's just spamming? False. The reason there is no Amber Alert is because the police didn't interfere with custody. Kelly will have to file a contempt of court for it to become criminal. Right now, it's custodial interference. All right. Yeah. No, I just read it and I realized that you didn't realize that when you wrote this. So can you remake on the comments, please? I'm in my second semester of a law program. Okay. So you're the closest thing to a lawyer that anybody's commenting in here. So I'll take it. I mean, but with a grain of salt, you're in your second semester, you know? Let's see. I think if they were going to do a SANE exam on 7/25 and Mike thought they did, but they did not, that is the confusion. They did not because of the time she had been at her mom's. I don't know about that. Let's see. Do I think that KC and KL are working together, or did Kelly's team just want to strike iron while it's hot and go on the offensive after KC's missing persons report? I didn't think so at first. I mean, I made jokes about them sitting around and, you know, having tea and just trash talking Michael. But at this point, I mean, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, she would be an asset to a certain degree. Behind the scenes, she would absolutely be an asset. She would be able to share with Kelly everything. Courtney would be able to share with Kelly everything that she's aware that Michael would plan to use when the time comes and he is able to get this appeal worked out. So anything that he hasn't been able to do yet, she would know what he plans on doing because she did all the digging. I know this for a fact. I was there. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Yep, that's a good point right there. I think there's a high possibility Courtney could be in contact with, at the very least, Crime Online. I say this because ML was on Nancy Grace's show last year and she'd have the contacts. I agree with you. She absolutely would have those contacts. And as thorough as Courtney is, as I know her to be, it would be absolutely naive to think that she didn't save those contacts. So I mean, I'm just saying, this is just Kelly doing what Michael was doing before. The only difference is she's stating half facts. This is clearly a let me get people riled up tactic. I mean, why would she hire a PR lawyer? This lady is like the equivalent to Robert Duvall in The Godfather, right? She just handles stuff. It's like Ray Donovan with a law degree. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, why does she need a lawyer like that? For what? Why would she need a lawyer like that? And Courtney stated herself that the $200,000 or whatever that was raised in the GoFundMe went to attorneys. So, I mean, the fact that she's flip-flopped because he's allegedly cheated on her, which I think he did. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, that doesn't make her a credible source for information. That makes her a scorned woman with a vendetta. I mean, period. Lori Dozer saying, did he smack Phoenix? Well, maybe. I don't know. And I have my opinions on that. But to me, that stuff's irrelevant. To me, I don't care about any of that. This stuff is a personal family issue. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to create a criminal aspect of it so that a bigger criminal aspect, because actually technically it's not a criminal issue. If there was a crime taking place right now in the eyes of law enforcement, Michael would have a warrant for his arrest. He just would. Now, I'm not saying he won't tomorrow, but I'm saying as of right now, if there was a criminal aspect here, he would have a warrant for his arrest, but he doesn't. Like, you don't get to cherry pick, Critical K's on her lives for 5 hours at a time. And she's going, oh, look at the facts. And she's sharing screenshots of private text messages between Kelly and Michael. And how did she get those, by the way? Michael didn't give them to her. How did she get those? I'm seeing nothing but someone who's out to hurt the other person, coming from both sides. That's what I'm seeing. No, Lori Dozer, it is irrelevant. It is irrelevant because we're talking about criminal aspects of this. I'm not talking about who should have custody, who shouldn't. I explained why I feel like a criminal investigation wasn't thoroughly taken place. And I'm explaining that this situation, being a missing persons case, it is not a criminal issue as of yet. And it's being painted out to be one when it's not. Otherwise, Michael would have a warrant out for his arrest. Now, as far as child abuse, is that a crime? Absolutely. So it was on Courtney to have reported him at the time. So screw it. All right. Since we're taking that angle on it, I'll discuss that issue and my opinion on it. My opinion on that is if someone smacks my kid and they're not my kid's mom, but somebody that I married has no biological and they take it upon themselves to discipline my child with their hands in any way, shape, or form, well, then guess what? We're going to be done, and I'm going to file charges against her. I mean, plain and simple. I'm not going to come out way later and start using it to slam the guy, to slam my ex. I'm not going to do that. Because at this point, it's irrelevant. You should have done something about it then. Thank you, Lori Dozer, for being open-minded and listening. I appreciate that. I agree with you, Logan's mom, Browning. Casey is just as guilty as ML. If of anything, ML did or didn't do so. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it, folks. You got to use your eyes. If Michael is guilty of coaching Sophie, so is Courtney. There's just no way around it. She was there. We saw video of her talking to Sophie. We even saw video of her where it seemed like she was leading her with questions. I didn't see Michael do that. I saw her do that, but I didn't see him do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a person who's just not credible for information, man. She is not a credible source for information, guys. It's just that simple. Rebecca Roberts, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At least not yet. I'm not saying I don't know what's going on. We don't know where they're at. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we knew and we heard from him and he made some sort of public statement going, hey, like a detailed one. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Just write a detailed one saying, hey, I'm perfectly within my rights to be doing what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. That's also a good point. I think that Fox News picks up the story because Crime Online did. There's a connection there with Nancy's show being through Fox. Yeah, I mean, she makes guest appearances on Fox all the time as a commentator. So yeah, these people are all in bed with each other. So I mean, we're not, but we're only getting half the story, guys, from these news sources. Two of them, tabloid asswipes. One of them, a major media source, but I mean, bias, known for bias, absolutely, without question, without question. Let me see. If ML isn't really missing, why is she still considered missing by the Texas government? If all it takes for ML to inform LE about his and SL's location, then he's really dumb to refuse to do it. I agree with you. I'm absolutely in complete agreement with you. I'm saying by definition, if nobody knows where they are, then technically they're missing for sure. But that could also mean that they consider Michael to be just as much in danger as Sophie, you know? It's not all about that, Lori Dozer. It's not about that. I'm just asking you to use your eyes. Pay attention. Look at the facts. Don't just listen to words that come out of somebody's mouth. Look at the way everything puts together like a puzzle. That's all I'm asking you to do. Guys, we're a true crime community. This is what we do. All of a sudden, this is different. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, there is. Big difference. Yeah. But, you know, calling him an abductor, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You know, like, isn't kidnapping a felony? So if law enforcement considers him to be committing a felony currently, then there would be a warrant out for his arrest. No doubt about it. Wait a second. Penny Love. Never did I say that it was no big deal. What I'm saying is it is not a criminal issue currently. That's what I'm saying. But I'll tell you what, though, if my ex took off with my son back in the day when we were having a custody fight, I would have been all over the news. I would have been burning down front doors of news sources to take my statement. I'd be, calling all cars mode. Absolutely. I wouldn't hire a PR lawyer to intimidate and threaten people online. I wouldn't feed information to a doxing gossip channel. Look at this. Stop putting down Kelly. Dude, look at the evidence, people. Look at the evidence. Stop putting down Kelly. But you can sit there and drag a dude and antagonize someone who you believe to be a danger to this child. Y'all don't care about this kid. Otherwise, you wouldn't support channels like Critical K and cheer her on and Super Chatter. You wouldn't. If you actually gave a shit about Sophie's well-being, you would not support what Kay's doing. You just wouldn't. I mean, stop putting down Kelly. Go, Kay. He's a crazy lunatic, Kay. Stop putting down Kelly. Dude, that's what you sound like to me. That's what you sound like to me. No logic. None. No logic. All you got to do is use your eyes. That's all you got to do. Scan. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything. Everything that's happening. That's all you got to do. Patty Wag. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Exactly. I'm not the one making the decisions that they're making. I'm not doing that. I'm here for your sake. I'm telling y'all, quit being duped. That's what I'm telling you. You're being used by one parent. I don't care if you side with Michael. I don't care if you side with Kelly. You're being used by one parent to sling mud at the other because there's nothing we can do about Sophie's essay claims at the moment. There's nothing we can do about it. We have to rely on Michael to handle that. And right now, Michael is acting like a child, in my personal opinion. So there are so many missing children. Y'all share their story. You make them all as publicly known as the long drama. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Right. Why isn't there an arrest warrant for Michael? if he's so unhinged, if he's so unhinged and he's so scary and such a danger to Sophie, why hasn't law enforcement taken the right steps? Yeah, I just shared the audio for that, by the way, Sheila Pink. Yeah, I mean, guys, like, that's what's really funny to me is people just they blindly love these idiotic YouTube creators. Just, KJ's stupid, but Kay's not stupid. Kay knows exactly what she's doing. She's getting fed information by Kelly Long while Kay continues to call her daughter a brat. She did it for 5 hours last night. While Kay continues to call her daughter a brat, and she is in no way, shape, or form has made a public plea for her daughter to be returned home safely because she believes her to be in absolute danger because Michael is a total danger. Right? I mean, and they're doxing people. They're already doxing people. I already got word. It's like 4 or 5 different people that I already know of that have been doxed simply for having an opinion opposite of Kelly's. When do you ever hear Kay say no doxing? That I don't support that ever? Not only does she do it, she supports it. She justifies it in her mind. Everything that Kay does in some way, shape, or form, her ego makes her justify it in some way. She'd rather justify it than have to deny it. No matter how dirty it is that she do, whatever it is that she does, no matter how dirty that is, she will always try to find some way to justify it. Because how dare you try to question her methods? Who are you to somehow question her integrity? I'm not up here doing that. I'm asking you to use your own common sense, to use your own observation skills. That's all I'm doing. If the creators that are known for doing dirty shit to people are the vessels of information coming from this side of things, and then I get an ominously threatening letter from an attorney representing Kelly Long to not go over any information in those court documents. Why? Why? Are they afraid that I'm going to show flaws in how how the court handled this case? Is that what they're afraid of? Because at some point somebody's going to. I just don't do that. I'm telling you, this is a private family issue, not a criminal one. That's all this is. And it's none of your business. It's none of my business. That's all I'm here to tell you. And I'm here to explain why, which I feel I have done. Yeah. Or if somebody does it to her, supposedly. Like, I have shown screenshots coming from her Discord of her ordering doxes on people to her mods. I've shown it. I could do it again, but I'd rather not. Crazy House Saloon, thank you so much. As a mother of 2 daughters, nothing would get in my way of speaking out to find my kids. Court and Ellie would not stop me, ever, in all caps. Yes, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. That's what I'm trying to say here. I don't believe that Kelly believes that Sophie's in any danger. Her actions just are not showing that. Why would she feed information to somebody who is antagonizing the person who's supposedly a threat to her daughter's safety? A narcissist. Why would she support that? Think about that. I so appreciate Will have the courage to tell the entire community what they're allowed to talk about and what they aren't allowed to talk about while talking about it himself. Oh, I love the sarcasm there. That was adorable. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm merely explaining to you. What's happening in front of your face, and you're not realizing it. If you were to take my words and heed them, right? If you were to absolutely take everything that I'm saying and you ended up agreeing with it, the result would be that you'd stop paying attention to this. You would let law enforcement and the courts handle these two, their custody dispute, which people go through every day. They just don't involve the public. That would be the inevitable result if you actually understood what I was saying and took it to heart. And that's the trick, of course. You know, if Sophie goes missing, I'm telling you, I don't think it's a coincidence. But yeah, if Sophie goes missing, then all of a sudden everybody is concerned. All of a sudden, everybody that was following this stuff months ago is now manipulated all over again. And there would be an Amber Alert. I agree, Sheila Pink May. Yeah, I live in the same town as Kelly Long. Absolutely nothing being said here. You would think it would be on all the neighborhood group pages if she was really concerned. And why? I mean, Fox News covered it, but why none of the local news media sources? Why no local Dallas sources? You know, why? I mean, all you have to do is just look and think for 5 seconds. That's all it takes. Look and think for 5 seconds to know that this is all BS. This is the real long hoax. You guys are being hoaxed. Look, I'm a stone's throw away from KL's community, and I agree. Nothing is being said except on YouTube. Let's see. Tom Riddle. That's another red flag. The flow of the story from crime blogs to mainstream media is usually not the flow. The normal flow is from local, ABC, NBC, etc., to mainstream, or to, I see what you're saying, to crime blogs. You're right. You're right. Now, it's a win if it's a real issue, because what I'd like to see is this national media coverage. Because, I mean, Nancy Grace did she tried. I'm not going to lie. She tried. When this was going on months ago, she tried. She interviewed Michael Long. She gave him a voice too. But you don't think now that she's hearing all this hoopla about Michael kidnapping Sophie, that she's trying to cover her ass for having talked about it before? Now she's trying to make up for it. Like, oh my God. Like, she doesn't have a PR person that goes, you remember that Sophie thing you talked about on your podcast? Well, her dad, the guy that you had on your channel, the guy that you had on your podcast, her dad, he supposedly kidnapped her. So you might want to fix that. You don't think that that probably took place? I mean, Michael Long, he filed lawsuits for everybody. I mean, so I saw the list once of the people that he was suing, and I forgot all about it. But yeah. That's a good point, Christy Mack. Do you not think it's pretty dangerous to go on record saying there's no danger or urgency here? Erring on the side of caution doesn't seem like the best approach to you. Good question. But I have been. If you've been paying attention, what I'm saying is law enforcement has yet to deem him to be a danger to Sophie in this case. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it could happen tomorrow, in a week, could happen 5 minutes from now, could happen while I'm on this live stream. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm saying currently it is not. Understand it as it is what I'm asking you to do. Understand things as they are, not as how you think they should be. That means dick. Understand things as they are. Yes, I have, Tom Riddle. Thank you very much. Good night, Gramsy Life. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Ganja Granny 420. I love you. And you win handle of the day. Ganja Granny 420. Only because I'm visualizing what you look like. I never ever want to see a real picture in your avatar. I just want to I just want to picture what you look like. That's what that's all I want to do. So you win handle of the day, Ganja Granny 420. That's all I'm asking you to do. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the grand scheme of things here. I mean, you could sit there, and like it's funny. And again, I'm not defending Michael, but you have you have Critical K who has all these text messages, private text messages between Kelly and Michael. And she's reading them and she's mocking him and saying them in character. And, at one point she put on a bandana and you know what I mean? Like, and she's doing it clearly just for content, to get her chat to be like, Kay, you're awesome. Ha 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 ha. LOL, LOL. You know what I mean? And it's just to taunt and drag this dude. But what's funny is I don't remember at any point Michael being on my channel and saying negative things about Kelly. I don't remember that. I honestly don't. So, I mean, I didn't get that. Now, it could be because he's just that manipulative and he knows how bad that's going to make him look. It could be that for sure. I'm saying, it doesn't make sense that Kelly would, Kelly's not saying a word to anybody, but yet she's telling us everything, But Remember Christopher Walken in True Romance? Talking about, you're telling me nothing, but you're telling me everything. Right. I mean, that's what's going on here. She's not saying a word. She's using other people to talk for her. And the way you know that is because how else would Critical K have those text message exchanges? Where did she get them from? Private text message exchanges, private emails. Where would she get them from? Other than Kelly. So, okay. Just check the appeals court. The trial court entered in unspecified order a few minutes ago. Could be important or could be mundane. Well, let's hang out for that for a little bit. Tom Riddle, if you have access to that, I will happily stay on for a little while and wait to see what that is. In the meantime, I'll just go over chat. Hold on. One thing that gets me is that everyone says Michael made these claims, but if you actually watch the video, Sophie made them and grandma said you were awake. Yeah. How can that be coached? By the way, how can the grandmother's response to Sophie's claims on video be coached? Explain that to me. I'd like to know that. The grandmother on Kelly's side. How is that even possible? No, the video doesn't prove anything. I'm not saying that the video proves anything at all. I'm saying if Sophie was coached and that whole thing was a big farce, then how could, I mean, Michael doesn't know what is going on in when she's not with him and she's in that environment. Michael doesn't know. So how could she have coached anticipating how Sophie's grandmother on Kelly's side would react in that video? That's a good question, King Duck. Unfortunately, I'm not an attorney, so I could not give you an answer to that. I don't know. I'd like to know, but I don't know. But luckily, there's actually a couple of other creators. There's Rakita Law, and I don't know what he's been saying about it, but he's an attorney, from what I understand, and he's been covering this case and talking about it. And then there's Spectre, who has been talking about it too. And he's the one who actually called to double check on. I don't know if he's an attorney though. But he seems to know the law pretty well. But he went into some detail. He even said that she was violating ethics, that she could even be this Linda person. I forgot, Elkin. This attorney for Kelly, who's not the custody attorney, he was saying that she could get disbarred for what she was doing by sending us those emails, straight up lying. I mean, and the only purpose behind it, why else would you send those emails and lie? The only purpose for doing that would be to intimidate, to harass and intimidate. To use your position as an attorney to scare the hell out of somebody. Now, I'm not. Listen, I don't know if I'm ready to endorse Rakita Law because somebody sent me a clip, and I still, in all fairness, I don't know what to make of it still. But I was like, what's he doing? Uh, so I'd love to hear his explanation behind that, because everything else that the guy says sounds super credible. But this thing, it sounded like he was kind of going off the rails a little bit. And I was just like, what are you doing right now, dude? So I'm not saying that I fully endorse this guy just yet until I understand what was going on with that clip. I'm not giving this guy my stamp of approval. Not yet, anyway. But it could just be context. You know what I mean? I think it's a question of context from what I heard that clip. I that's the benefit of the doubt that I'm giving him. But fair enough. I mean, still, but I was just like, what the hell is this guy doing right now? What are you doing, dude? That was what I was doing. I was looking at the screen. I heard this guy speak really credibly. And then I saw this clip and I was like, looking at my phone talking about, dude, I'm going, dude, what are you doing right now, dude? I don't want to mention it because especially for the reason, if it is an understanding or I'm sorry, a misunderstanding, then I don't want to create more of a misunderstanding. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even want to mention it. All I'm saying is there's a clip somebody sent me and I was like, what's going on with this dude? You know what I mean? All right, Louisiana girl. Yeah, Tom Riddle just told me the same thing. I appreciate that. I am going to stick around for a little bit just to give that some time. My lighting's probably going to have to change because it's getting to a certain time where I have to turn a particular light off. So if I'm going to stay on, I'll probably just go off camera. But this will be the setting, guys, for the time being. Next couple of months, probably. Yeah, no more green screen, at least for a while. And I kind of like this better. It's a little bit more, you know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, it's like, I mean, this couch is comfy, dude. Check it. You know what I'm saying? Look, check. It's comfy. You know what I mean? It's comfy. All right. And let's not forget about Summer. Missing from Rogersville, Tennessee, age 5. Summer Moon Utah Wells is her full name. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 3 feet tall, 40 pounds. Last seen wearing gray pants and a pink shirt, possibly a hoodie, possibly barefoot. The pickup truck that law enforcement is looking for questioning because they're a potential witness, according to law enforcement, according to the TBI, according to the sheriff's department. The pickup is possibly a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack, along with white buckets in the truck bed. If you have any information on credible information, please contact 1-800-TBI-FIND. And yeah, guys, no more squeaky chair. Yeah, that's a bright side, sort of. I like my squeaky chair. Oh, Richard Grande. Oh man, if I hadn't already named handle of the stream today, you would definitely get it with that comment. My actions and your name all coming together in this one beautiful way, you would win. But I'm sticking with Ganja Grandma 420 because I just like picturing her in my head. Okay, this is what the docket says. Order received from trial court, so it came from the trial court. Because the original court case is not public, I wouldn't be shocked if the order stays private. Yeah, so you won't be able to find it online. Like it was explained in the phone call that Spectre made. As it was explained in that phone call, It's not that it's sealed, but it's not available online because there's a minor involved. So anybody who's actually in that area can go down there and physically ask for it in the morning when the courthouse opens, or whenever they open. I'm trying to see. Hold on. I can't even tell what that avatar is. Right. Yeah, Tom Riddle. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. All right. So there's that. We don't really have any more. Guys, all I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, I'm giving you all you just look at things a little bit more carefully, folks. All you got to do is you got to use your eyes and look at the big picture. Look at the grand scheme of things. Nobody, and I mean nobody, seems to be acting in behalf of Sophie and what her physical best interests are right now. Nobody seems to actually care about that. Because making Michael out to be a danger when law enforcement hasn't deemed him to be a danger to Sophie puts Sophie in danger. Because you could get some idiot who thinks that they're being a hero, go looking for him. Because I don't think that they're actually hiding. I think that they're just not. I don't think that he's just not telling anybody where he is. But I don't think that he's actually like hiding and trying to avoid being found necessarily, going out of his way. I don't think he's switching cars. Like, what's this guy doing? Like, he's driving around in his vehicle. You think this guy? Think about it. You think this guy is like ditching a car in a parking garage like a professional, and then like stealing a car getting into a car with a Slim Jim, you know, and then hot wiring a car, getting underneath it. Let's go, Sophie. I mean, come on, dude. That dude is not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they want to find the guy, they're going to find him. If they were actively searching for this man, they would find him. If they were actively searching for Sophie, they would find her. Now, that is assuming that he is not a danger to her. Fair enough. Fair enough. But they would find Michael. There's no, I mean, this, like, he's not switching cars and stuff, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, what if this dude is, I mean, he's broke. He's broke from what I understand. He's flat broke. Courtney's trying to say, oh, well, the GoFundMe money, I saw that. That went towards the attorneys. I admit that. But then there's PayPal stuff. He probably hoarded all that, saved it for when he's going to run. I don't buy it. The dude's broke. He didn't even have a job. His business tanked. He's got no income. That would have been burned already. He would have burned right through that already. I'm talking to months ago. Months and months and months ago. Now, could some nut that follows him online and supports him fanatically be financing it? Sure. But that's a long shot. That's a stretch. That's thin as hell. Yeah, exactly. Are you quoting Journey songs, Journeyman? If they keep doing that, mods, leave them alone. That's the good kind of troll. I'm cool with that. This chat could use a little Journey lyrics, even though I don't really like Journey all that much. But you know, let's face it. Journey's some feel good music. It's good stuff. Being a big Journey fan, I mean, I don't know what that says about you, but it's okay in my chat. I'm not gonna be mad at you for it. Don't you know he's running underground and funded by Father's Rights? Yeah, Father's Right. I love that. That's the other picture that Critical K is trying to paint here. That this Father's Rights group is funding his escape, providing him with fake passports, and you know, all of a sudden he's part of this secret society of crazy dads. Secret society of crazy dads. and now he's the Jason Bourne of the secret society of crazy dads. All right, let me see something here. How long is this thing? All right, we'll go over that real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. Put this bad boy back at the charger. Give me 1 second, guys. Actually, let me go ahead and hold on. Oh, I reset my computer, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Oh. Oh man. All right, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get into my Facebook so I can, but I can't remember my Facebook password. Did that work? Amazing. 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 Yeah. Right. All right. Here we go, guys. Yo, I'm trying to full screen this, bruh.
I am the Honorable Judge Roy Bain. Be presiding over the
All right. So this is a little thing called how family law works. It's 5 minutes long.
Welcome to family court. I would like to welcome everyone out to family court today. I am the Honorable Judge Roy Bean. I will be presiding over the destruction of your family. That's why we call it family court. The course of your trial will be very lengthy. These proceedings will not be a trial in the manner that you might expect. These cases will be conducted on a kangaroo court basis. During the upcoming months, I will be violating your rights left and right. So go ahead and get used to it now. I prefer for you to be as compliant as possible with all of my directives. You will have no choice because I will have plenty of backup. The police or sheriff's deputies are here to do all of my bidding. By the way, the cops will also provide backup for everything the CPS or DSS agents tell you. That's why they call them law enforcement. Actually, that is a misnomer because they will not actually be enforcing the law. They will be enforcing my orders. In reality, they will be violating the law as part and parcel of our family court racket. But that is just an aside, so do not quote me on that. In fact, do not mention or reveal to anyone what takes place during these proceedings. I am placing a gag order on you. I am ordering you not to reveal anything of my skullduggery or that of the CPS or DSS workers. If you violate my order, I will have the cops put you in jail. They will gleefully do my bidding at all times. They are the enforcers in this very large criminal enterprise. I will also have complete judicial backup in the event you have the audacity to appeal any of my decisions. The judges over me will condone everything that I do. We are all in it together, so to speak. Money is a great motivator, and we are all after it. These proceedings, as I mentioned, will be quite lengthy. It will be so by design for two purposes primarily. Our aim in general is to extract as much money as possible from you for the benefit of myself and my fellow actors. Also, by dragging it out, it will help you to become accustomed to not having your children. Eventually, I will terminate your parental rights. We call it TPR. Although all of our proceedings will be conducted on a kangaroo court basis, do not even begin to think of it as a Mickey Mouse operation. Our very well constructed racket garners for us hundreds of billions of dollars. This money is taken from the Social Security Trust Fund. So we will get the money, and this is big time business. Unbeknownst to you, the attorney you have hired will be colluding with myself and the CPS or DSS workers. That is what makes our operation so smooth. Just to give you a friendly heads up on what to expect, you in all likelihood will become a pauper. You will spend all of your money trying to get your kids back, which will be an exercise in futility. You will not have a chance. It is kind of like the old arrangement of throwing a Christian to the lions. As we conduct our business, do not mention constitutionality, as that has no place in my courtroom. And I will tell you that in a heartbeat. Your so-called constitutional rights will be violated with regularity. As you have already noticed, I will be violating your First Amendment rights, the so-called freedom of speech. As I mentioned, there will be no jury trials. So your Seventh Amendment rights under the Constitution of the United States will equally be ignored and violated. Even if you request or demand a jury trial, I will deny that to you. That has already been arranged by design. Also, there will be no adherence to due process. You will not be allowed to defend yourself or prove your innocence. If I were to allow that, it would be crystal clear from the cold record that we have no case to stand on against you. So that will not happen. If you fail to comply with any of my court orders and fall behind on paying us the money that I order you to pay, I will also violate the constitutional prohibition against debtor's prison. I will put you in debtor's prison in a heartbeat. The coming months or years, as it may become, will be very stressful for you. Just to give you a friendly heads up, some of you your moms, dads, and your children will commit suicide. I do not encourage that, but I realize that frequently happens. Let me make it perfectly clear. We are not meaning to take your life. We just want to take all of your money. So that completes your orientation. Have a nice day. All rise and let the trial begin.
There you have it, folks. Guys, I love you. I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. And I appreciate you guys having an open mind and using critical thinking. And remember, you got to use your eyes, folks. So, in conclusion, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for all your support. And just make sure you're not being duped. Look at everything. Look at everything. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.